verse 18. What are you going to do?
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. Verse 18 reads, I will raise them up a seer from among their brethren like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
Mm-hmm. And they talking there. So we clear that it's a prophecy in every generation. It's going to be, according to 1818, it's going to be many seers. That would say, young lions. That what it says in 1818. It's going to be many seers in all generations. Is that what it said there? Did it say that?
I'm not taking a seer.
According to, see now, remember, we is teaching on the six anointed camps, those that have came in, and we have to set the president before the eating and the drinking comes in. They have to know that Yahweh is going to raise up many seers according to 1818. Is that a hallelujah, Yahweh?
Hallelujah.
We're totally wrong.
I'm trying to figure out.
That don't say that, y'all. You gotta look what the Bible saying. You just can't Yahweh.
That's seer.
A seer. Just like the statement you made last night based on bringing Esau in 700 years too soon. Take a deep breath. Remember, in leadership, you got to be correct. This is what it's all about. So you look at exactly what that word is saying. It ain't saying no many seers. It's saying what it's saying.
A seer.
A seer. So we just can't parakeet anything. We got to make sure we direct. Because in leadership, you got to be believable. You got to be knowing what you're saying, not just reading what you're saying. You got to know what you're saying. So what's that about? And see, just what the training is about. But we clear that all in the 6 anointed camps, to be clear, they was prophesied to raise up how many seers in every generation?
A seer.
A seer. Now we're going to get a precept on that, Brother Titus. We're going to the book of Hosea chapter 12. And remember, take a deep breath. Study this stuff. Because one thing about it, any position, life's going to be dependent on you to make a Bible decision. Now, we going to read it earlier. You cannot make a fleshly decision. It must be a Bible decision, especially in leadership. You have to know what you're saying. You're looking at verse 10 and verse 13. Hosea chapter 12. Matter of fact, let's read that, Judas. Let's go 3:11 of St. John. We're going 3:11, and let's read that.
John chapter 3, verse 11. Verse 11 reads, Truly, truly, I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and ye receive not our witness.
So, how do you supposed to operate? We speak what? What do we speak in leadership?
What we do know.
What we do know.
Right.
So we can't just be just ran back and just parakeet. We got to speak what we know. We got to take a deep breath and rehearse this righteous act. And when we speak what kind of way, Brother Titus?
We speak that we do know.
That we do know. So we look right at the verse, and you ain't going to change what the verse is saying. So this what the verse is saying. So I'm going with the verse. Well, I don't care who you are. You can be the elder, the seer, anybody else. Mothers, brothers, anything. Better have, no, we're going with the Bible. But we got to know what the Bible's saying. We got to be looking directly at it, not based upon dramatics and personality. No, well, seer, the Bible say a seer. That's what the Bible say. So we will go with the Bible. Then if the seer got full of himself, you say, yeah, thank you for putting that correction on. So you don't get, you make sure we got to beat this thing. I'm telling you. Yahweh gonna do what he gotta do once we in order. In order, we read already the early part of the lesson. You got to judge according to righteousness. And righteousness is law, statutes, and commandments. You got to apply this. You can't talk this unless you walk. If you ain't walking, don't even talk, because you're not going to be heard. They're going to get past everybody. Because we're going to see where you're not in order and your family not in order, so you're going to keep your mouth closed. Now, we're going to read verse 10 and Hosea chapter 10, verse number 12, verse 10 and 12, 10 and 13. What's that young line?
All right, the book of Hosea the seer, chapter 12, verse 10 and 13.
Listen good.
Hosea chapter 12, verse 10 and 13. I've also spoken by the seers, and I've multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the seers.
So when he spoke, how did he speak? So
By
he
the,
had anything to say in his Bible, how did he speak?
by the seers.
How did he speak?
YHWH.
That will read.
YHWH.
Okay, good. Skip down to verse 13.
Verse 13 reads, and by a seer, YHWH brought Israel out of bondage, and by a seer was he preserved.
So many seers laid them out, then the young line. How many seers laid them out? Many seers laid them out, huh?
A seer.
How many?
A seer.
How many is 8?
One.
One.
YHWH.
One. Although it was millions of Israelites, but it was one seer that led them out and had many elders and everything, and leadership. We read by Sister Judas how the leadership was set up in order to help all the tribes by getting wise men out of the tribe. So you see all the things here. So understand, for this thing to work, it must merge a seer, unrebukable in the word of YHWH, and that's how it worked then. That's how it works now. We're going to Acts, Brother Titus, and we're going to see if we can get a precept on that and see that anything changed in Acts chapter 7. Look at verse 22 and 23. Acts chapter 7, pause, take a deep breath. Remember, you read for the national audience, 4th day of the feast. No big hurry to get it out. You're going to get it out and get it out right. 7, verse 22 and 23.
The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 22 and 23. Acts chapter 7, verse 22 reads, and Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, Mizramites, and was mighty in words and in deeds. Verse 23. And when he was full 40 years old, it came into his mind to visit his brethren, the children of Israel.
So when it came in his mind, he said, well, I'm going to visit my brother. Who was Moses' brothers?
The children of Israel.
Children of Israel. 12 tribes. His brother. Okay, good. Now let's find out a little bit more. And what happened that we can read in verse number 30. Read down a little bit.
Acts chapter 7, verse 30 reads, and when 40 years were expired, there appeared to him in the wilderness of Mount Sinai an angel, ministering spirit of YHWH, in a flame of fire in the bush.
When in verse 30, after 40 years expired, there appeared unto them in the wilderness of Mount Sinai. Ever said in your line?
Appeared unto him, to him.
Appeared unto him. Is that what was going on here?
YHWH.
31.
31. And when Moses saw it, he wondered at the sight. And as he drew near to behold it, the voice of YHWH came unto him.
To him, huh? Right?
Verse 32. Saying.
Now he could introduce himself. So now YHWH going to introduce himself to Moses, right? Let's see what he says to Moses when he introduced himself.
Acts chapter 7, verse 32, saying, I am YHWH of your father, YHWH of Abraham, and YHWH of Isaac, and YHWH of Israel. Then Moses trembled and durst not behold. Verse 33. Then said YHWH to him, put off your shoes from off your feet, for the place where you stand is righteous ground. Verse 34. I have seen the affliction of my people, which is in Egypt, and have heard their groaning, and came down to deliver them. I have heard their groaning, and am come down to deliver them. And now come I, will send you into Egypt.
So he said he coming down to deliver him, but he looking at Moses. He said, I'm coming down to deliver you, Moses. But he tell Moses what? What he said to Moses?
I will send you into Egypt.
I will send you, Moses. See, you understand this thing. Once we understand, see, this is what's so important about the 4th day, the 5th day, the 6th day, the 7th day. It's we supposed to be all among the 6 anointed camps, breaking down to the children of Israel that are slow on the rules of the regulations of the Bible. See, we got to make sure we got this thing down pat. And Yahweh got no other choice but to intervene. If we find the ones that got problems in their bodies, we supposed to go tell them about their bodies. We supposed to be able to look out among those of the 6 anointed camp and see whatever their problem is at. Yahweh will give that spirit in the same hour, and you supposed to be able to go over there and work them over according to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh. And that's the game changer. Whether seer is in one of the camp he in, we got to be able to do that. And the elders got to make sure the teachers in line to be able to do this by example. Read some up.
Verse 35.
What it say?
This Moses, whom they refused, saying,
Now, this Moses who they refused, saying,
who made your ruler?
No, you believe in our words, but you're saying so fast.
Okay.
Who made thee what?
Made thee a seer.
A ruler. A ruler, young man. That's what you said. Who made you a ruler? Then millions of people around. So now you all have your game sales in there. So here come your game sales. Well, who made you a ruler? See that? Now here comes the one that got his little crew together. Now they're going to confront Moses and say, and we know what that's at in the book of Numbers 16, but we ain't dealing with that. Who made you a ruler? And what?
And a judge.
You mean Moses was a ruler and a judge? Yes. That's by the hands of Yahweh. Because he made him to be what? Judas in 7:1 Exodus. What did he make Moses and according to 7 verse 1? See, this is what we do on these feast days, on this 7th-day feast. Remember, we'll be on every night at 7:30 until this thing is completed on the 8th day. Every day, 7:30. All feast days, we go all the way at 7:30 to 10:30, although we be live in all 6 camps, bonding and talking scripture, getting prepared. Come on, 7 verse 1.
Exodus chapter 7, verse 1.
Verse
1 reads, and the Yahweh said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a Yahweh to Pharaoh.
I have made you, Moses, a Yahweh to Pharaoh.
And Aaron, thy brother, shall be thy seer.
And Aaron gonna be the seer. See that? So Moses was in big position, and those that's around that was hanging around in leadership, they started murmuring at this thing. You see what I'm saying? So now Paul is reversing the righteous act what happened over there in the book of Numbers. You let you know. Now come on back, young man, on that verse 35 of Acts 6:35.
All right, Acts chapter 7. Acts chapter 7, verse 35. The same did Yahweh sent to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel, which appeared to him in the bush.
Wait a minute. We got a whole lot of A's in here. No. We got a whole lot of A's in here. We got a whole lot of A's in here because you got a lot of brothers out there jumping down. But now, wait a minute. You got a lot of brothers, I heard a brother call me and said, we all been made prophets. all been made. Probably was a misnomer for seer. But according to the Bible, it wasn't but one seer and a whole lot of them. Jesus and everything, that's according to the Bible. Now, if you want to get out the Bible and say that, go ahead. But if you ain't using the Bible, because what we read right now, Paul is rehearsing exactly what happened back there in the beginning. And what did Paul say YHWH did according to verse 35?
Acts chapter 7, verse 35. This Moses whom they refused, saying, who made you a ruler and a judge? The same did YHWH send to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hand of the angel, which appeared to him in the bush.
And so YHWH settled all that day. And that's how he's going to settle everything. That's when we get in order. YHWH going to bring everything to be settled. And when he bring it in order. Now let's back up. Let me know, Brother Makai, when you do with what you're doing, but you give a little reading.
Oh, hallelujah.
I didn't hear no hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, hallelujah. Excellent. Now, young lion, Brother Titus, give me that 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 19 down to verse 21. And Brother Makai, I want you meet me in Hosea. We'll see how we break this down after this break. 1 Peter chapter 1, 19 to 21.
Go to 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 19 and 20.
19 to 21.
19 to 21. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 19 to 21. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 19. But when the precious blood of YHWH the Son, as of a lamb without blemish, without spot. Verse 20. Who truly was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you. Verse 21. Who by him do believe in YHWH that raised him up from the dead and gave him glory, that your faith and hope might be in YHWH.
See, I made an arrow on that verse right there. That really can be put in, but it's not what I'm talking. I need it. That's why we have to make sure that we understand when the seer do make a mistake. It says, see, you sure you sure that ain't the second book of Peter 1:19 through 21? See, we can't blindly follow nobody, even the seer. We got to make sure he on point. Because even David, like when young lion read last lesson, a lesson before that, he said, David, why you want to do these things right here, David? So you can get yourself in trouble, and everybody else tied up. See what I'm saying? So one thing about it, leadership got to be leading by example. You see them going off, you got to know the scripture to see, no, that don't go with that. 2 Peter chapter 1, 19 through 21. Read that, young lion.
Chapter 2.
Like 2 Peter. 2 Peter chapter 1.
Verse 19.
Verse 19.
Listen to this.
We have also a more sure word of prophecy.
Also, we got a more sure word of prophecy.
Whereunto you do well.
So you do well, go ahead.
That ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place.
Prophecy means that has been foretold by the seers. Prophecy means things that have already been foretold by the seer. That's prophecy. It's been foretold already by the seer. So he's saying you do well. If what I'm getting ready to say, you go check it out because it's been told by somebody back there on the left side of that book. Somebody done said something. I'm not up here just talking that talk. I'm talking about something that have been said. Go ahead and read.
Until the day dawn, and the day star rise in your mind.
Until we get your understanding up, because we know those that's coming into sitting on the camp, I don't care what camp they're coming from, they're going to be slow. We got to meet them where they at with the right spirit and build them up. Go ahead.
Verse 20. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scripture is of any private interpretation.
So it's nothing private about it. It's wide open for those that want to understand the truth. You got to be prepared to teach them the truth. There's no proper interpretation. It's done by in order according to the Bible order. Go ahead.
Verse 21. For the prophecy came not in old time by the will of man.
It didn't come by the will of man because your parents can send you to Yale, Harvard, Moody's. It didn't come that way. Go ahead.
But righteous man of YHWH.
The biblical definition came to men that was righteous. And what was the biblical definition of being righteous? Again, there, Brother Micaiah in 625 of Deuteronomy. So it came by righteous men. He doesn't pick any man. He picked righteous men. And the biblical definition of being righteous that had his word in 625 of Deuteronomy by Brother Micaiah. We're going to read a little bit.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6, verse number 25. 25 reads, and it shall be our righteousness if we do all these commandments before the YHWH as he hath commanded us.
So the righteous is those that observe and do the law, statutes, and commandments. That's the men that YHWH picked to carry his word on. The one that observed it, the law, statutes, and commandment, and not was just a hearer of the word, he was a doer of the word. Them the one he will put the blessing on. Now we're going to Hosea, there, young lion. And now we're gonna see, can we learn something on the way of learning something. We're going to Hosea chapter 1, and we're gonna pick it up at verse number 4. We're gonna read and see, can we get some understanding out of this and find out what meaneth this right here. Hosea chapter 1, pick up verse 4, Brother Micaiah. Take your time and deliver it and do your part. 1 verse 4, we read on down to verse number 11.
The book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse 4 down to verse number 11. Verse 4 reads, and YHWH said unto him, call his name Israel, for yet a little while, and I will avenge the blood of Israel upon the house of Jehovah, and will cause to cease the kingdom of the family of Israel.
See, this Jezreel is another name for Israel. Remember, we're teaching the national order. We know what they're looking at, but this is another name they're propped up for Israel. Northern kingdom. It's talking about northern kingdom. Jezreel is talking about northern kingdom. It's just a polluted word for Israel. Same thing about the word called Bantu. So the brother called me from on the international line, say I'm Bantu. That's brother ain't number to whooped out word for Israel. Polluted. Now what's on your mind? Go ahead.
Verse 5. And it shall come to pass at that day that I will break the bow of Israel in the valley of Jezreel.
That's right.
Verse 6. And she conceived again and bare a daughter. And YHWH said unto him,
What?
call her name Luruhamah, for I will no more have mercy upon the family of Israel.
All right.
But I will utterly take them away. Verse 17. But I will have mercy upon the family of Yada Judah.
You see that?
And will save them by the YHWH, their YHWH.
Go ahead.
And will not save them by bow.
I'm not going to save you by bow.
Nor by sword.
Not by sword.
Nor by battle.
Not by battle.
By horses.
Horses?
Nor by horsemen.
So you're not going to be saved that way. So get this in your mind, all you camps thinking you will overthrow y'all, the man's in control today by any type of warfare. You will lose. That's not how you're going to take this man down. We're going to read how you'll take this man down according to the angel telling the seer, Hosea. How you going to take this man down in every other nation? I understand what the Bible is saying. Go ahead.
verse number 8. Now, when she had weaned Lo Ruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. Verse 9. Then said Yahweh, call his name Lo Ami, for you are not my people. I will not be your Yahweh.
So this is called prophecy of disconnecting from the northern kingdom for 10 tribes. It was prophecy was telling I will no longer be the northern kingdom as we speak. Think of the northern kingdom. Kingdom I'm looking right now is Judah. And Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and Simeon is up under the Judah wings. That's the order of things. But the 10 northern tribes, if they find any of the 10 northern tribes today, all of this Roman Catholic Catholicism, they're all over the place. Because Yahweh had no truth to him. But he left room for them to return. And that's why it's so important to understand we have to emphasize those that's coming in, especially on these feast days, especially on the tabernacle, but we got to have the right to meet the northern kingdom where they at. But let them know plainly the northern kingdom. Yahweh through with you. There's nothing you can say to him right now until you get it on. Then he will say, how do we get it on? Give him find out some more. Verse 10.
Book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse number 10. Verse 10 reads, yet the number of the children of Israel should be as the sand of the sea,
Yes.
which can not be measured
Yes.
nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, you are not my people,
Yes.
there it shall be said unto them, you are the sons of the living Yahweh.
That's big trouble there. So he just said, Hosea said, it's going to come a time, which is now. You are not my people's 10 northern tribes. But he also said, in the same place where you call not my peoples, you will be called my peoples. Now that's big trouble there. So you got to show them as we speak, Northern Kingdom, you're not his people. But then they want to know, well, how do we get back in order? Now, Brother Titus, we can go and look at a precept because you got to show them where they are messed up at, but you got to show them how they can tighten up. But you got to use the Bible. We're going to Jeremiah 31, and we'll look at verse number 1. What it said that young line in Jeremiah 31, verse 1. See, this is what the bonding part about the feast days. You see what they need, and then you working from there. See, you got to be able to have that discerning spirit, and you see where they at, and that's where you meet them at. So if Northern Kingdom coming in the 6th Northern camp, you got to recognize the spirit they got on them, that they will be talking something totally different. So now anybody from the Northern Kingdom, like the word of Northern Kingdom is a word called, they like Spanish, Puerto Ricans, and Mexicans. Then the blue the names they got. Understand something, BSK. Understand real good. That Northern Kingdom earlier teacher, she's out of the real of the Almighty. She's not going to understand anything, Sister BSJ, Israel, until she come in and sit down with an open mind and learn where they lost it and how to return. Because we got to report that the Northern Kingdom woman doing very well teaching over there. But she got to be shown through scripture. She's out of order. The Almighty is not dealing with you until you get this part right here. So that's why you might have her over to hear a lesson and you want to stick with them. You know, reason why I want to stick with them? Read Sister Judas. Give me 73 verse 17, Book of Psalms. Let me show you why I want to stick with them. So Sister BSJ, Israel, You make sure you write these scriptures down and you let them know, although I let you hear a lot of broadcasts, but you will never get this right until you understand who you are and what you got to do. According to Psalms 73 verse 13. We wrote down 17, Mr. Stewart. Take your time and invite the national audience. Psalm 73, verse 13 down to verse 17. Come on.
Psalm chapter 73, verses 13 to 17. Verse 13 reads, Truly I have cleansed my mind in vain,
Yes.
and washed my hands in innocent.
Mhm.
14 reads, For all the day long have I been plagued and chastened every morning.
It's all day long been cleansed and chasing every morning. Going around.
I say, I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. Verse 16 reads, When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me.
Listen, when I thought to notice this was too painful, I couldn't. Thought I was on something, but it was really when I get to myself, I know something is wrong, but I'm just faking it till I can make it. Go ahead, read.
Verse 17, Till I went into the sanctuary temple of Yahweh, then understood I therein.
You see that, Sister BSJK, BSJ Israel? Until that sister come down to one of the 6 anointed camps and sit down, then she'll understand that she got to get to one of the temples with her, with the right spirit, and come sit down, and then she'll understand her position according to the Bible, and she will be all over the place. Although you're doing fine by letting her hear the broadcast, but she'll never understand the Bible because she don't know who she is. She thinks she's Puerto Rican, Mexican, but really she's Northern Kingdom, and we'll break down exactly what tribes she from and what their responsibility. But you will never get it right until you understand what Jeremiah getting ready to, when we get ready to read Jeremiah 31 verse 1. Look at that.
Book of Jeremiah is here, chapter 31, verse 1. Hallelujah. And at the same time, said Yahweh, will I be Yahweh of all the families of Israel,
Yes.
and they shall be my people.
And they should be my people. Let's find out about these people you're talking about in verse 2.
Verse 2. Thus said Yahweh, the people which were left of the sword found mercy in the wilderness, even Israel, when I went to cause him to rest.
And I went to cause him to rest. Come out all 12 tribes. So now here's an order about this thing, Sister BSJ. Israel. It's all about this thing. Now listen real good. So when you get a hold to that Bible teacher over there, they got the mouth going. It's an order about things. So you have to let her hear the order of things. Watch this. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Yahweh had appeared of old unto me, saying, Yea, I have loved you with everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness have I drawn you.
He said, but with loving kindness have I drawn you. Go ahead and read.
Verse 4. Again will I build you, and you should be built, O virgin of Israel. Yahweh. You should again be adored with your tabrets, and you should go forth in the dances of them that make merry.
Go ahead. Watch this now. Listen good.
Verse 5. You should yet plant vines upon the mountains of Samaria.
You should yet plant vines on the mountain of Samaria.
The planters shall plant and shall eat them.
The planters shall plant and eat them. That means one thing. Planters gonna plant. That means you gotta reach up and get this thing. So then you know you want to be pulling down from that tree.
As common things. Verse 6.
But when you pull down from that tree, according to YHWH's, what kind of things?
As common things.
It's all is common things. That's how we supposed to eat. Reason why we got all these problems in our body, because we're not eating common things. We eat worldly things that cause in our body so much turmoil. We're not reaching in the tree for our meat at no time. As an afterthought,
Verse 6.
listen good.
There should be a day
But there's gonna be a day
that the watchman upon Mount Ephraim shall cry.
Now, Ephraim is the leader of the 10 northern tribes. Ephraim is the head leader of the 10 northern tribes. So it will come a day when Ephraim's going to cry. Let's see what his cry going to be about.
Arise ye, and let us go up to Yada Judah, unto YHWH, our YHWH.
Somebody, man's Jay, Israel. Somebody, she going to find out that the Roman Catholic Church is not the answer. Somebody, she can recognize, let down the ritual piece is the answer. And then they will come to count number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Take your stick. You go in South Carolina, you go out to Maryland, you go out to church, you go out in Kankakee, you go into Springfield, you got 5 locations. And when you can come here. And somebody you will come and sit down and hear from Francis.
Of
The
the
true
true
Israelites.
Israelites. Verse 7. Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 7.
Now watch what, now when they do this, watch what YHWH got ready.
Verse 7 reads, but thus said YHWH, sing with gladness for Israel, and shout among the chief of the nations. Publish ye, praise ye, and say, O YHWH, save your people, the remnant of Israel.
So this has happened. So this has happened right there. So now you know how to and you go out everybody Judah and sit down and learn who you are in your position to help those that come in contact with you. The time happened. Sister ESJ Israel. All right, young lion. Now we're going back to, so we know now in Hosea, we in Hosea now. Now we're going and see how sharp is the young lion's going to be. Now where you left off there, young lion? Come here. And then Hosea, where you left off on?
Going back to the book of Hosea.
We're gonna check out these young lions. They're gonna be all around. We're gonna check them out now. Well, yeah, you verse what now?
Going back to the book of Hosea.
Yes.
We read verse
Right here, we think on the last point, and we'll come back on that last point we was on. So we're in Hosea chapter 1. So pick it back up after you say, you're not my people.
we read verse number 6. We wanted verse number we had verse number 7.
Okay.
Finishing up verse 7.
Okay, so
Book of Hosea chapter 1, verse number 7. Finishing up verse 7. I'm picking back up at the top.
okay.
But I will have mercy upon the family of Yada Judah,
Yes.
will save them by the YHWH, their YHWH, and will not save them by bow nor by sword.
Read already.
Yeah, we read.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. Verse 8. Now when she had weaned Lo Ruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. Verse 9. Then said YHWH, call his name Lo Ami,
Yes.
for you are not my people, and I will not be your YHWH.
Now back to him.
Hallelujah.
Okay, go ahead.
Verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
Right, and now the children of Israel, they everywhere. They have more babies. You shake a stick, and they're everywhere, right? So we know they have the family seed. 10 northern tribes is like a Super Bowl. They everywhere. What does it mean?
which cannot be measured nor numbered.
Mhm.
And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, You are not my people,
Yeah.
there it shall be said unto them, You are the sons of the living
So
Yahweh.
now how it's gonna be said to them when they come to Judah? That's when it will be shown to 10 northern tribes. Yahweh gonna lift that blindness on you, and you can come run about them Catholic churches, Christian churches, for Yahweh to kick in, and you become the sons of the living Yahweh. Now, y'all get ready to pick it. Let's see how this thing gonna unfold. Now I got my eyes on the young lions. Those on the national order, this is real good when the young lions gonna take a peep at this right here, and I'm gonna ask them something in verse 11. Let's say 11.
Then shall the children of Yada Judah, the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom, and the children of Israel, the northern kingdom, be gathered together, and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out of the land. For great shall be the day of Jazarel.
Which is plural for Israel. Northern kingdom. Now, according to verse 11, who among the young lion wanna for the national order take a shot at? What is this really saying? What is it saying in verse number 11 in Hosea chapter 1 verse 11? So he laid out the blueprint. So what is he really saying in verse number 11? Take a deep breath, one of you young lions, and let's see can we edify those that got an ear to hear what verse 11 is saying.
What he's saying in verse number in the book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse number 11. He's talking about the tribe of Judah and the tribe and the 10 northern kingdom.
Yeah.
He's saying they're gonna come together they're gonna be under one head, that one head gonna be the seal.
Yeah, then
he said they should come up out of the land. For great should be the day of Jazarel, which is the new word for Israel.
we're thinking about that you agree with what he just said? You see that thing, bring what he just said, you ain't going there, or you just gonna say, well, I see something else in that. Which way you gonna go on that?
To one head. So I'm gonna disagree on that.
You gonna disagree with that? So what you got to work with to disagree with what he said? What are you working with to disagree? You gotta have something to put on the table to disagree. So what you disagreeing about that verse in 111 or in how he broke the verse down? What part do you disagree on? Go ahead. So now, what is you working with that makes you say I disagree with what he just was saying in verse 11? What you working with?
All right. All right, I'm gonna go to Isaiah chapter 12.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah chapter 12.
Mm-hmm.
And go to all right.
You see in Isaiah 12, right? 12 what? You say you disagree with what he just said in verse 11, right? Now you better break down and show where he needs to be corrected at, right? Right? Okay, 12 what?
Isaiah chapter 12. Right. And I'm gonna pick it up at looking at verse 6.
Okay.
Looking at verse 6. Go to Isaiah chapter 12, verse 6.
Yes.
Says, cry out and shout, you inhabitants of Yada Judah. For great is the righteous one of Israel in the midst of you.
Okay. So hey, now what is you agreeing on what he's saying in 111?
So this one is talking about Judah, because Judah supposed to lead, bring all the.
He supposed to lead.
I mean, Judah. See, they got to come to Yahweh Judah first, because we supposed to lead all the the northern kingdom being black. So they got to seek Yahweh Judah. And our responsibility is to bring the northern kingdom back as one.
Okay, but if y'all got Judah supposed to lead, don't you mean that so you saying that's it won't be no order about it because everybody. It don't work like that. I mean, everybody. You know, you said y'all got Judah leads. Okay, now what that mean? I mean, how do they lead? How do y'all got Judah lead? That the script was said in 111. How they so? Brother Henderson. But you go up 216 and pull out of that. Because we'll pull out of that.
Day 216. Lord.
I'll change it to now y'all line read that again now. Now I'm going to get that verse again. Y'all line read again Hosea 1:11.
Going back to the book of Hosea, chapter 1, picking up at verse number 11. Verse 11 read. Then shall the children of Yahweh Judah.
Then the children of Yahweh Judah.
And the children of Israel.
Now, so there you go, Judah and Israel. Watch what they do.
Be gathered together.
They're going to be gathered together.
And appoint.
Then they're going to appoint
themselves one head.
Then they going to appoint themselves one head. So Judah and Israel come together. Then they're going to appoint themselves what?
One head.
One head. They going to appoint themselves one head. Okay. Then once they appoint themselves one head, what will happen?
And they shall come up out of the land. For great shall be the day of Jezreel, polluted word for Israel.
So he's saying it's going to come a day when northern kingdom and southern kingdom point them what?
One head.
Head. Y'all mind? They're going to point themselves one head. Now, he gives precept that to 14:12. Let's see what the Almighty Yahweh said in St. John 14:12. Now we want precept that. You get total answers through the precept. Let's see what Yahweh said in 14:12.
John chapter 14, verse 12. Verse 12 reads, Truly, truly, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father.
So he said, truly, he or they gonna do great work. What he said, he or they?
He that believeth on me.
So how many is he? How many is he? How many is he?
One.
One.
He is one. And we found out one is one head. Right?
One head.
So it's gonna be he gonna do greater works than what he done.
Right.
Right. So again, we talk about one again. So this one, you got to keep precept. Now we go on to 7th chapter of Micaiah, and we're going to run down to verse 4. Now, tell me when the light comes on there, I want to hear when the light comes on, because we could identify the one head and we identify the he, based upon southern and northern kingdom. We identify all that by precept in the Bible. 37, 1, 2, 3, 4, Brother Micaiah.
Going to the book of Ezekiel,
Yeah.
chapter 37, verse 1 down to verse number 4.
Mhm.
Book of Ezekiel, the seer, chapter 37, verse 1 read. The hand of the Yahweh was upon me
Yes.
and carried me out in the spirit of the Yahweh
Yes.
and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones. Verse 2, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry.
He said they was very dry, but it caused you pretty tough me to keep that day. So me was keeping that day. Is that what we're reading? So me was keeping that day. Go ahead and read.
Verse number 3. And he said unto me,
And he said unto me,
Son of man, can these bones live? And I asked, Oh Yahweh, Yahweh, you know.
But all I know can these bones live is you, Yahweh. I don't. He said, I don't know. He said, Son of man, can these bones live? He said, I don't know. He said, only you know. I don't know.
Verse 4. Again, he said unto me.
Again, he said unto me. So far, Brother Titus, what is this conversation about? What is this conversation so far? How many involved in this conversation?
One.
What do you mean one?
See how many involved in this
Yeah,
conversation?
how many in this conversation?
It's talking about the bones.
No. How many in this conversation? How many is in this conversation?
Okay.
Yahweh and Ezekiel the seer. No. Two. This one agree. You gotta see this. You gotta see this. So you gotta teach this. So now here's the point. This is Yahweh talking to them seals. Is that right?
Yeah.
Them seals, right? Is that what he's doing?
Seer. Talking to a seer.
He's talking to a seal. Not them seals, is it? Don't let them. They're gonna trap you up your line. And we pray you stand tall, because the voices is coming. And we just give you a little taste of what they're gonna put on you. And they gonna come. And you can't be falling all around and all over the place. You have to deliver. So we find out, and what the help you better is they help you what that you doing what you're supposed to do. They show like same thing happened with Moses. He forgot some things, and better ass say, I took care of that, Moses. Go ahead, keep on moving. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's so important to have a better head to understand her rule and keeping you on the right. Right. So she listening to you. So we find out this is Yahweh talking to a seer. Is that what's going on here?
Yahweh.
He's talking an a seer about what name is the seer is. What's his name?
Ezekiel the seer.
Seer. He's talking to one individual. He don't change a seer. He ain't talking to a bunch of, like they call it, we all prophets, we prophets, and no, you just using your own dramatics. That's your narrative. That ain't Bible. But Yahweh only deals with a seer in every generation. That he deal with, and he gives him to those that need to have it here. So now in verse 4, the conversation still going on. This is real good. Verse 4.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 4 reads. Again, he said unto me,
Yes.
Prophesy upon these bones,
Yes.
and say unto them,
Right.
O you dry bones.
All you dry, now who's the dry bone? We'll find out later. But he said, you tell Ezekiel to do this, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Ezekiel, you prophesy on the dry bones. Look, and tell them what.
Hear the word of the Yahweh.
He's telling in the book of Hosea, it's not going to be about might. It's not going to be about birds. It's not going to be about horses. How you get yourself back on the right track, you got to do wrong.
hear the word of the YHWH.
See, that's what we have to do in the 6 morning camps. We have to make sure they hear nothing but the what?
The word.
That's it. That's how it did. We've done our job. Verse 6, verse 5.
Verse number 5. Thus says the YHWH.
Yes.
YHWH unto these bones.
Yes.
Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live.
He said, otherwise, I'm going to cause breath to enter into his bones, and they're going to live. Once Ezekiel give them the word. And I'm going to kick in and start putting breath in them, but they'll live. Once Ezekiel start talking to them, the Israelites. Is that what we in so far? Oh, y'all want Verse 6.
Verse 6. And I will lay sinews upon you,
Yes.
and will bring up flesh upon you,
Yes.
and cover you with skin,
Yes.
and put breath in you, and you shall live. And you shall know that I am the YHWH.
Good.
Verse 7.
Now, he told me how it's going to happen. Let's see the ego sitting on the dock of the bed who was told that. Let's see what he says in verse 7.
Verse 7.
But,
So I prophesied
so I prophesied.
as I was commanded,
Yeah.
and as I prophesied, there was a noise,
There was a noise.
and behold, a shaking,
It was shaking.
and the bones came together,
And the bones came together.
bone to his bone. Verse 8. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them.
Yes.
But there was no breath in them.
But it still wasn't no life in it. Because they started shaking, and they started shaking rather and rolling, but it still wasn't no breath in them. Okay, remember, keep on now. So now Ezekiel, he doing what Yahweh told him to do, but he talking to him, but it ain't no breath in them, right? Verse number 9.
Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind.
He's gonna tell you to do that. Since they don't want to hear you, Ezekiel, just prophesy to the wind. About this now.
Prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus says the YHWH, the YHWH, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, and that they may live.
Oh, so then he'll say it. So now he said prophesies to the four winds. And the four winds is the four nations. The four nations that gonna do you some damage. Let's pull that out. Let's pull that out of Sister Judith. See now, you see, that's what I'm saying. Now, sooner or later, we might hear some of this stuff. We go on to Sister Judith. We go on to see exactly what he's talking about, these four winds to blow on these people. It's on the 15th chapter of Jeremiah and verse number 1. So sometimes you gotta pay those that come, hey, what you doing over there? I ain't doing nothing. Well, come on here and let me rehearse the righteous act. Take a coat out and let me rehearse the righteous act with you. See what I'm saying? So now I'm telling you something. And get in order. And they even do this out of 6 morning camps. Yahweh gonna show his hand to this ministry. But you got to know how to precept your Bible and make it plain. Now these four winds, we're gonna find out who these four winds is that got to build the nation of southern and northern, get their attention. Verse 15:1, come on. Yes.
Verse 1 reads, and said the Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me,
Yes.
yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth.
Said, although if Moses stood me, he not complete their cause. If Samuel stood before me, and you know how great Moses and Samuel was. Now, in fact, Samuel, you know, he let them know exactly who we were. and glanced down and he judged Israel household in 7:15, Brother Titus. According to 7:15, how long did he judge Israel?
2 Samuel 7:15.
Yeah, how long did Samuel judge Israel?
Going to 2 Samuel chapter 7.
Verse 15.
Make that 1 Samuel chapter 7, verse 15.
That's right. 1 Samuel chapter 7, verse 15.
1 Samuel the seer, chapter 7, verse 15.
Verse 15.
And Samuel the seer judged Israel all the days of his life.
So the seer is the judge of 12 tribes of Israel. How long?
All
The
the
days of his life.
All the days of their life. So when you see anybody jump up and say, wait a minute, it's a seer around there, how you get he's still talking. So you know right now here, it's some folly in this thing here. Because Samuel, the seer, judged Israel, how long?
All the days of his life.
And that's the only thing that the Pope in Rome took. That's the only thing they took from the Bible. That the Pope he only in there until he died. Now they took that from you. That's why you see them new popes, the old popes, they be in there until they fall out.
It's only one pope.
You see that? How many popes is it?
One pope.
One pope. And they got that from New Right. That's the only part they got right. Everything else they did wrong. They know that part get one pope, and he in charge of all of the world until he died. They got that from you. Right there. Come on back, listen, brothers. We're not gonna talk about people wrong. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 15, comes on verse 1.
You know what I come in on you. Remember I said put your finger on the last thing I said when I break in on you and pick up on that point.
Oh, I read all of it.
Okay, good. You read all of verse 1? Read again, huh? Read verse 1 again. Remember, when I break in on, and the same thing y'all have to lead by example. Whoever read for you, tell them when I break in on you, put your finger on the last word that I read, that you read, and I broke into you, so you pick it right back up at the same word, the next word to it, and keep it moving. That's the sign we're looking for. Verse 1 again.
Then said the Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me,
Yes.
yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out my sight.
Cast them out my sight. Greater than me.
And it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go forth?
Yeah, where should we go? Oh.
Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Yahweh, such as are for death,
When you go unto you, such are for death,
to death,
to death.
and such as are for the sword,
Such as they're gonna get some that sword put on you,
to the sword,
to the sword.
such are for the famine, to the famine,
Famine.
and such as are for the captivity, to the captivity.
So you look at, look at. They gotta go into captivity, into captivity. Oh, they got some famine on him, got some famine on him. They that go onto the sword, got some sword on him. They that go on as death, got some death on him. Well, this is the one you call sweet Jesus in the Christian church. Good. Well, look how he talking. Yeah, but the Christian church don't talk like this, do they? Death, sword, famine, captivity. You don't obey me? Do what you got coming. Death, sword, famine, captivity. Is that what we're reading here? What's the thing, verse 8? He said, now once you get up in these situations, let's see how you catch you in your head behind in the next verse. Right.
I would appoint over them 4 kinds.
Wait a minute. And when you get there, wherever you at, I'm gonna point a point over you. What?
4 kinds.
4 kinds. Let's talk about the 4 kinds.
Says the Yahweh. The sword to slay,
Look, I'm gonna have that sword. That's 1.
the dogs to tear,
2.
the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy.
Uh-huh. So now you see the 4 kinds gonna be on that. So there's no 4 winds gonna be on you. They're gonna treat you like somebody, a sword, like a dog, like a eagle flying on your head, or beast of the earth. And to do what to you?
To devour and destroy.
So you see how you put the precept on that? So that's the 4 kind he told Ezekiel. He said, I prophesied with him, Yahweh. I told what you were saying. He said, okay. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna let these 4 winds get at them. I'm gonna let these 4 kinds get at them. Let that sword man get at them. I'm gonna let that dog man get at them. That foul man get at them. I'm gonna let that beast get at them. Huh? And you see, you know what he said he's gonna do? Brother Micaiah, he said he's gonna do Hosea 15. Why is going on? What is happening to you? He gonna have Hosea 5:15. Let's say that young line, Brother Micaiah.
Hosea chapter 5.
Yes, sir.
Picking up at verse number 15.
Read.
Hosea chapter 5, verse 15 read. I will go and return to my place.
You go and just return to my place.
Till they acknowledge
So till they acknowledge
their offense
their offense.
and seek my face.
Yes.
In their affliction,
Yeah.
they will seek me early.
So you see how much teaching we have to do 6 morning camps on these feast days when they come together. They bring their loads with them. But they got to hear the word. Yahweh is going to watch you until you start doing his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what the gathering all about. That's what the abundance all about, is show you where you at. Even if they come in on sticks, come all out of shape, you're going to show them you got to change the way your intake is. You got to show them how to correct themselves and take it back, especially in leadership position. Problem you have in your body because you're in the king's meat. As long as you're in the king's meat, you're not going to look the same. Let's read it, Micaiah, let's read that. As long as you're in the king's meat, you're not going to be the same. Let's go to Daniel chapter 1 to show you. As long as you eat the king's meat, I don't care if the king come by and tell you what, eat a itty bitty piece of it, you is not gonna be the same long as you eating the king's meat. You gotta let the king's meat get away from you. To get yourself together, you gotta put down the king's meat. And we got a program called a 90-day detox. And that's what you want. If you do the 90 days detox, and then you gotta put down the king's meat for 90 days. And then you gotta eat from that tree 90 days. That means you got to use 3 specific things to intake, maybe 4. You want to be eating that tree for 90 days. Talk your body, you got to put in 90 days. 90 days, you got to put in your body. You got to eat 90 days from that tree. You got to eat number 1, grapes from that tree. Number 2, apples from that tree. Number 3, pomegranates from that tree. Mangoes from that tree. There are 3 things you got to eat from that tree. And the tree is for your meat. And you got to go into the ground and eat 2 things. You got to get that watermelon to help bust that stuff out. And you build the body up with a standing corn. Them the 5 things you got to do for 90 days. Standing corn, watermelon, grapes. What else we say? Apples,
Mango.
and maybe green apples, green mango. All of it got to be green. That's the number one here. And when and then corn, and that remember the corn in 78, 24, 25 centuries, where that corn coming from. See, understand that standing corn, not the one in can.
Yahweh.
The standing corn builds your immune system. Because the standing corn, if you do it in 5 for 90 days and drink a lot of water and exercise, every problem in your body will leave you. You will see the effect of it after 30 days. You'll start seeing your body start making a difference. Although it's going to fight you 2% for 30 days. I mean, you can go through like that picture called New Jack City that was on them drugs and they had them locked off of it. Trembling, doing everything, trying to get ahead. That's what happened for 30 days. You think of everything for 30 days. But if you stay long, for 30, 90 days, all the problems in your body will come out of your body. Whatever problem you got in your body, it's going to leave you. If you follow what the seer just said, especially in 6 morning camps, for 90 days, you're going to drink a lot of water, drink water, and exercise. You got to eat only from the tree grapes that got seeds in it. Apple, one is green that got seeds in it. Herb, mango that got that big seed in it. Give you 3 things you eat on the tree, your meat, for 90 days. What you use from the ground is that raw root. If you really want to do 9 days right, do it break some raw milk. But give me 5 trusts. But remember, when you eat the standing corn, it's for your immune system. It's for your immune, the standing corn, not the can in the can. The standing corn, not the kind that they're mixed up in the United States. That's why you got going on with it. Because they're doing anything to everything that you put in your mouth. They have the trouble. And last night lesson we showed you the chicken have been banned in just about every country that the United States produces chicken because they put chlorine in their chicken. They wash their chicken down in chlorine. Well, the word chlorine, it means a toxin. If you look at the word toxic, it means a gas. And you know what gas do in a closed room, and you see it's going to turn into a poison to you. So if you eat this chicken from the United States, you eat toxin. You eat chlorine. You eat the gas. You eat poison. You got it? Go to the phone and put it up. Said, do the United States put chlorine in their chicken? And that's what they say. They say, yeah, we do it, but it ain't do you no harm. They tell you. They tell you on that piece of telephone, yeah, we do it, but it ain't harm you. Or chlorine don't harm you. Chlorine is a toxin. Toxin is a gas. A gas is a poison. You mean it don't harm me? No. See that? But you gonna believe. You gonna believe him, right? You gonna put the Bible down. But we know how to help your body. But that's we should do. Gotta tell you YHWH first. And this is the 5 things you do to help your parents, help your loved ones that wants to do right. Tell them for 90 days, go to the tree, the fruit basket. Come to grapes, green, number 1, with seeds in it. Apples, green, with seeds in it. Pomegranate, green with seed in it. You remember all that stuff. And standing corn builds your immune system up. Standing corn. But then all after it will go 90 days after making at least no less than a half a gallon of water. That's the whatever you find in your body, after 30 days, you're going to see signs of it. Here's the kind of disease you got. You start seeing signs, your body starting to heal itself. It's pulling the toxins you have built up from eating outside of the body. Young man, go to go get a precept on that. And you listen real good to yourself. We're going down in chapter 1, pick up verse 4 now, Brother Micaiah. And we're going to see through this, do what we just told you, do it stands up. By put some book on it. We're going to Daniel chapter 1, and we're going to look at Daniel chapter 1, and we're going to pick up at verse number, let's read at verse 4. Let's read into it there, young man. Verse 4.
Right. We're going to the book of Daniel.
Yes, sir.
It's here, chapter 1. We're going to pick it up at verse number 4.
Listen good.
Verse 4 reads.
Now take read verse 3, this nigga soon.
Going to the book of Daniel, chapter 1. We're going to pick it up at verse number 3. Verse 3 reads. And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs,
Yes.
that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed,
Yes.
and of the princes.
So they want certain of children of Israel, but they want to what kind of seed? The king's seed. That means Judah. Yeah, that means Judah. See, the little Judah is the lead Judah. Even in captivity, the king that bring children of Israel, but bring the king's seed. And we know all the kings from the tribe of Judah. From the southern kingdom, right? Rock on the read.
Children in whom was no blemish,
No blemish,
but well favored,
everything,
and skillful in all wisdom, and cunning in knowledge, and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace.
I mean, when times the king won't do, they got the power to do it. Children.
In whom they might teach the learning in the tongue of the Chaldeans.
And they will understand the Chaldeans' tongue better than the rest of the Israelites. They can catch it. And Judah can catch on to everybody.
Verse 5. And the king appointed them a daily provision of the king's meat.
And the king never could eat, so look, okay, they will eat the king's meat. The king meat, what we eat today, the king's meat. So the king said, okay, I'm going to point them to eat the king's meat. Go ahead and read.
And of the wine which he drank.
They eating the wine that they drank.
So nourishing them 3 years.
And nourished them for 3 years.
That at the end thereof they might stand before the king.
You see, so feed them the king's meat, the king meat, and drink for 3 years. Then they be able to stand before the king. You got them go always battles and everything at that time. So 3 years. But watch it, battle next. Now who we talking about?
Verse 6.
Right.
Now among these were of the children of Yada Judah, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah.
Yes.
Verse 7. Unto whom the princes of the eunuchs gave names.
See that they always name you. See, they know what your name really is, but they're not like you Judah, but they said no, you African American and Negro. So this is where it comes from. This is how you end up being African American and Negro. So Benjamin, Levi, and Simeon, all them wicked names. Here's where it started from right here. Go ahead.
For he gave unto Daniel the name of Belshazzar, and to Hananiah of Shirach, and to Mishael of Meshach, and to Azariah Abednego. Abednego. Verse number.
And Shadrach, his name is Shadrach.
Shadrach.
Yes.
Verse 8. But Daniel proposed in his mind that he would not defile himself.
But Daniel proposed in his mind not to defile himself. Listen good, Sister BSJ Israel.
With the portion of the king's meat.
They want nothing to do with the king, not the eating because they want nothing to do with the king's meat. Man.
Nor with the wine which he drank.
They didn't want the wine that they drank.
Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself.
So when you join the king's meat and the king's wine, you defile yourself. And we asked the head man up under the king, can we get around eating the king's meat and drinking the king's wine? We don't let it do with man one of them. Let's see how this conversation goes, bro.
Verse 9. Now Yahweh had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the princes of the eunuchs.
I wonder why he brought him in favor, Sister Judas. Why? Daniel 6 verse 3 and 12 verse 3, Brother Titus. I wonder why he brought Daniel in such a favor. Let's see if we precept and find out why did Yahweh have Daniel in such a favor. Daniel 6:3 and 12:3 by Brother Titus. Let's see why. Come on.
Daniel chapter 6, verse 3. Verse 3 reads, this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes because an excellent spirit was in him.
Okay. So to be a leader in Israel, you got the what kind of spirit in you?
Excellent spirit.
Oh, so Yahweh can favor on him because he had an excellent spirit. So now y'all take that understanding that 61 accounts. When you stand before the congregation, what kind of spirit got to have some Judas?
Excellent spirit.
Come on.
Look at Daniel chapter 12, verse 3. Daniel chapter 12, verse 3 reads, and they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
You see? So you'll be able to do some things. When you got excellent, see, when you got excellent spirit, you now back up to the 11th chapter. We've been holding that verse for a couple of hours. Now let's go to 11th chapter of Numbers there, young man. I didn't forget about it, so I had to bring it in another time. So now you have to see, see, everybody got to reflect something. You got to understand something, 6 morning camp. You got to reflect something too. To make this thing work, you got to reflect something too. Why? Because Moses got frustrated. But then Yahweh, see, once you get frustrated, you got to come to Yahweh. Then he tell you exactly what you got to do. 11 chapter verse 16 of Numbers. Come on ahead, Brother Titus. Let's see what 16 brings us.
Book of Numbers, chapter 11, verse 16 reads,
And
Yahweh said to Moses,
what?
get unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel. Get unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know it to be the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the temple of the congregation, that they may stand there with you.
So Moses was told by Yahweh, look out there among the peoples, the 12 tribes, and get me 70 men that you know, Moses, to take care of this business. You got to know who you appoint to do whatever you appoint. You got to know. That's why the seer looks and see what he got to know from the page of the book.
Well,
Verse 17.
Verse 17. And I will come down and talk with you there. It will take the spirit which is upon you.
And I'll take the spirit that's on you.
And put it upon them.
And I'm going to put the spirit that's on you, Moses, them. So those of 6 on the camps got to have the spirit of a seer. You got to have a spirit and a charisma of a seer. You got to know how to precept your Bible. You got to know how to meet them where they at. And your spirit got to be right. Can't be all over the place. Eh? You can't be all over the place. Because you're going to be tested. Now, we're going to precept the whole that point. You know, I'm on to Brother Micaiah and look at Mark chapter 4, 13 down to verse 20. See, you got to understand this thing. See, when you watch you, see, can you get around? You not throw up those shots at to see what around you. So remember, the wolves is going to really around you. They're going to laugh you to scorn if you can't take a deep breath and take it in. Mark chapter 4, 13 down to verse 20. What Brother Micaiah got to bring to the national audience? Come on.
going to the book of Mark. We're going to chapter 4. We're going to read verse 13 down to verse number 20.
Yes.
Book of Mark, chapter 4, verse 13 down to verse number 20. Verse 13 read. And he said unto them, know you not this parable? And how then will you know all parables?
So he gonna give a parable, illustrated. You do some illustration right now. He gonna use it as a parable to those that got here to hear. Go ahead.
Verse 14. The sower soweth the word.
He said, "So the word."
Verse 15. And these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown. But when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately, and taketh away the word that was sown in their mind.
You see that? So remember, Satan coming immediately, and he gonna try his best to snatch everything you just heard out of your head. Remember, he ain't gonna be playing around. He coming up immediately. Go ahead and read.
Verse number 16. And these are they likewise, which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately received it with gladness.
And you got some in class, 6 month camp. When they get something, they get happy. You get so happy. You learn something, right?
17. And have no root in them.
But they really don't have no root in them because they all over the place. You're going to be even kid. Get a good laugh, and the same tip, we know that good laugh is, or do you have your own twist on in your seat? Right?
And so endure, but for a time.
And then all of them for a time.
Afterward,
Yes.
when affliction of persecution arises,
We may tell you that what you're doing is not biblically or the law, statutes, and commandments, but what?
for the word's sake, immediately they are offended.
Then all of a sudden, well, I got to go to another camp now. Now they offended. You show what the Bible saying. Now they got offended. Now they want back, murmur, and complain. They show what the Bible saying. Now they got offended. Go ahead.
Verse 18. And these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word. Verse 19. And the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful.
You see that? When other things enter in, try to get around what the Bible saying. The Bible telling you one thing, but you want to get around it. And then you become unfruitful because you want to come another way. But the Bible still gonna stand, right?
Verse 20. And these are they which are sown on good ground,
Yes.
such as hear the word, and receive it, and bring forth fruit, some 30-fold,
Some went back 30.
some 60, and some an 100.
And these are all that what kind of way they are. These are just good.
Hallelujah.
And all way you be good, Brother Titus, in Romans chapter 7, verse 12 and 16, this is all way you can be good. You said the world that was good. That was a big word, Sister BSJ Israel, being good. Let's see how you be good according to the Bible.
Going to the book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 12 and 16.
That's good.
Romans chapter 7, verse 12 reads,
Right.
wherefore the law is righteous, and the commandment righteous, and just and good.
So this how you be good. Verse 16.
16. If did not do that which I would not, I consent unto the law, that it is good.
So how the one that was good, they brought it what again? So the one that done what, young man? They kept the laws.
Law.
So you keep statutes and commandments. So what the young man read, those that were done doing the law, what they bring in again, young man?
That was good.
No, what does it bring in? Keep reading. After you got good, they done what?
We're going to verse 21.
Yeah, read
Going
again.
back to the book of, want me to read verse 20 again?
Now read what it was good at. They were good.
Okay.
Now we know what good they were doing, right?
Hallelujah.
Then what happened after that goodness come upon them? Go ahead.
Going back to the book of Mark, chapter 4, picking up at verse number 20 read. And these are they which are sowing on good ground.
What is good ground?
The law.
The laws. These are they that kept the laws, statutes, and commandments. And what he do for them to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, right?
Such as hear the word.
They heard the word.
And receive it.
They received it.
And bring forth fruit.
And they brought forth fruit.
Some 30-fold. Some 60. And some an 100.
So see what's happening? When you know you allow do it all, this gonna be in your mind to what to do, correct?
Verse 21. And he said unto them, it is a candle.
No, verse 20. What verse you don't know?
That's why you told me to stop at 20.
Okay, ready. Well, yeah.
That was 20.
Okay, it's it. 20. Okay, go to Matthew 20. 25, 21 Matthew. Read down to 21. Matthew 25, 21, verse 34. See, we can precept on that. Let's take all that wrong doing this, good, and all that good stuff. Let's analyze some of that. Come on.
Going over to the book of Matthew, chapter 25, we'll read verses 21 and verse number 30.
Straight down to 30.
Straight down to 30. All right. We're going to Matthew chapter 25, verse 21 down to verse number 30. The book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 21 reads, His YHWH said unto me, well done, you good and faithful servant. You has been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter you into the joy of the YHWH. Verse 22. He also that had received 2 talents came and said, YHWH, you delivered unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. 23. His YHWH said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. You has been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many things. Enter you into the joy of the YHWH.
What do you mean by he'll make you rule many things, Sister Jonas? 22:25. Now, what do you make them rule? If you do right, I got a leadership for you. It's not what we're talking about in Revelation 2:25, down to verse 29. Now, what this rulership he got for you if you do well and will do good. What you got coming in end time prophecy? Revelation 2, 25 to 29, come on.
Chapter 2, verses 25 to 29. Verse 25 reads, but that which ye have already hold fast till I come. Verse 26 reads, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end,
And keep it my works to
my
you.
works
And keep it my works to you.
and keep it my works unto the end. Him will I give power over the nation.
And so if you keep my works to the end, what you got coming to Judas?
Power over the nation.
Power over the nations that market. Right?
He shall rule them with a rod of iron.
And you're going to rule them. That means a nation that YHWH's statutes, laws, and commandments. How can rule them with a law? Go ahead.
Vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my Father.
So you'll be able to bust their head clean up if they don't do right. And YHWH gonna bless you for doing it. So when they do make it change their mind, you let that rod in your hand and bust inside their big head.
I will give him the morning star.
Yes.
Verse 29 reads, he that have an ear, let him hear.
You got to hear this? You're in how it's gonna be, come on.
What the Spirit saith unto the temple.
Be clear, saying the hope. Go where is it?
Church.
The churches, man, children are the 12 tribes of Israel. That's what we're at church name. The 12 tribes of Israel. All right, good. Now come on back, young man.
I'm coming back to the book of Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
Come back to chapter 25. I'm picking up at verse. Picking up at verse. We Matthew 25, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, we're picking up at verse number 23. 23 read. His YHWH said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. You has been faithful over a few things.
Mm-hmm.
I will make you ruler over many things. Enter you into the joy of your YHWH.
Oh, you know already.
YHWH.
Yeah. Verse 24. Then he which had received the one talent came and said, now these ones that be in class and all their about with themselves. Now they got one talent. Let's see what they do one talent. YHWH, I knew you.
I knew you.
That you are an hard man, reaping where you has not sown, and gathering where you has not strewed.
You're a hard man, YHWH.
Verse 25. And I was afraid.
I was afraid.
And hid your talent.
And I'm just gonna sit on the knowledge that I have learned. I'm just gonna sit on it.
In the earth.
Yes.
Lo, there you has that is yours. There you has that is yours. Verse 26. His YHWH answered and said unto him,
What he's saying?
thou wicked and slothful servant. So
when you sit on the word of YHWH, how do YHWH look at you?
You look at you as a wicked and slothful servant.
You know
is that I reap where I sow not.
Yes.
And gather where I have not strawed.
Go ahead.
27. You oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers.
And his money is his word. He said, you have heard my word, you prepared my word, you don't sit this thing up on a shelf, you gotta go. Know what he's saying?
And then at my coming, I should have received my own with usury.
You see what I'm saying? With interest. That means you have done what you're supposed to do, which is your legal service. You better money in it, you prepare to take care, YHWH business. You go like you've been chosen to do it, and you did. Okay?
28. Take therefore the talent from him, and give it unto him which had 10 talents.
See, I tell you what, get an assignment to somebody else. You ain't gonna do right.
Hallelujah.
Give it to someone here. That don't read. Go ahead and read.
29. 29. For unto everyone that hath, for unto everyone that hath shall be given,
Yes.
and he shall have abundance.
Yes.
But from him that have not shall be taken away even that which he hath.
See that? Go ahead.
Verse 30. And cast you, the unprofitable servant,
Greater.
into outer darkness.
What's going on there?
There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Verse 31.
That's it. That's it. 30.
All right.
So you see the man saying, and we got to come back and read it again as students. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19. Listen again. 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20. See, what you want to be in the eyes of YHWH'S unprofitable servant. You take care of this man's business. That's what's so important about the feast in all 6 camps. During the old time, we got to move what he had and show him how to heal himself in the mind and in the body. We got what it takes according to the God. When we get grief, exercise of 90 days, we will pray all the problems out your body and your body. And remember, doing that wobbling, we're not going to wobbling away. When we get down to right afternoon, cut up in smaller pieces, and put it in your blender and drink that juice. But it'll help you in the further part of your body. It's another detoxer. That watermelon, don't throw none of it away. Cut it down to smaller pieces, put in your blender, that white and that green can produce good juice. When you drink that juice, you will feel a tingling in the lower part of your belly. It's working all the cobwebs about you. It'll give you an extra boost in the bedroom. That's what it does. And you're up. So don't never throw none of that watermelon away. You got it down to the white part, cut it down, put it in your blender, and drink that juice. Whatever part of your body is for tingling. Exercise and water and water puppies. And you become back at days ago. After your 90 days is out to it, you return back in the good old days when you remember, when you was all that white part of the watermelon bill and the green part of the shell. Put that in your blend that good stuff up, and drink it. And watch the lower part of your body give you an extra kick in the body. Now, going back to Ezekiel again, that young man. Now, what we left off on Ezekiel, we done all that to get back to Ezekiel. Because the young lion said that one don't mean one, but they should have got suspicious by now. It doesn't mean one. So now in the 37th chapter, young lion, you pick up from verse 9. Come on now, let's go back with some more.
Going back to the book of Ezekiel itself. Going back to the book of Ezekiel itself, chapter 37. And we're going to pick it up at verse number 10.
Yes, sir.
Book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 10 reads. So I prophesied as he commanded me.
Yes.
And a breath came into them.
So I prophesied that you see after the 4 winds got a hold to them, now they ready to hear the seer. The 4 winds, so this is a prophecy of them 4 winds who got a hold to them, and now they looking for those seers. Huh? Give me the book first book of Maccabees, young lion, Brother Titus. 446 and come back right. 446 and come right back.
Going to the book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 46.
So they start to understand some things now. Let's see what they understood now.
Book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 46. Hallelujah. They laid up the stones and the mountains of the temple in a convenient place until there should come a seer to show what should be done with them.
So all these big dignitaries gonna come and they gonna sit down and won't know from the seer, and the seer gonna talk to the elders and the teachers on what it takes to get back right. I tell you, that's why I said we got, if we get in order, all it's gonna kick in. See? They gonna recognize all that they coming around with. If it's a sincere, that's a lie. Then we gotta get there and sit down, and he's gonna point toward the elders, the elders gonna point toward the teachers. Come to class, sit down with big ear and little mouth, and you understand not coming to the temple or 6 month camps. Go ahead and read.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, picking it back up at verse number 10.
Verse 10.
10. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them,
Yes.
and they lived,
Okay.
and stood up upon their feet,
Remember, and what happened next?
an exceeding great army.
So great army means leadership. That's why you got to get right, young minds. Because much is given, much required. You want a great army, that means it's structured leadership in a great army, ain't it? So that's what we talking about. A great army is once we in order. A great army gonna stand up. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole family of Israel.
You see that?
Behold, they say, our bones are dry, and our hope is lost.
Yeah, that's what they say.
We are cut off for our part.
So that was Israel talking about. That was Israel talking about, Judah talking about. But who is he talking to? He ain't talking to, he talking to the seer pertaining to Judah and Israel. What are you talking about? The house of Israel. What are you talking about? To the seer. Young man. Read.
Verse number 12. Therefore prophesy and say unto them,
Yeah.
thus says the Yahweh.
What is it?
Yahweh, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your grave.
Yeah.
And bring you into the land of Israel.
You see what I'm saying? He tell us, go tell them what I'm gonna do if you do right. If you pay the seals, so never mind what you don't do today. This what's gonna happen for you. So the seals will tell you, I'm gonna bring you out of that condition you in. Go ahead and read.
13. And you should know that I am the Yahweh.
I need a precept on that. Give me 11 chapter 16 and 20 of Matthias. Give me Ezekiel chapter 11, 16 verse 20. I need a precept on that.
Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16 and 20.
This is
Book of Ezekiel the seer, chapter 11, verse 16. Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16 and 20. Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 16 reads, Therefore, say, thus said Yahweh, although I have cast them far off from among the heathen, and although nations, although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they should come. Verse 17. Therefore say, thus said Yahweh, I will even gather you from the people and send you out of the countries where you have been scattered. And I will give you the land of Israel. Verse 18. And they should come thither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof, and all the abominations thereof from thence. Verse 19. And I will give them one mind, and I will put a new spirit within you. And I will take the stony mind out of their flesh, and will give them a mind of flesh. Verse 20. That they may walk in my statutes and keep my ordinance, and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their Yahweh.
So who he telling to?
Children of Israel.
Who they telling to? He's quick to make statements. That's Yahweh telling Ezekiel this. He'll take it to the children of Israel. That is Yahweh telling Ezekiel the seer what to take to the children of Israel. The seer can't do nothing to give Yahweh. And once he got it, his mission was to go to the children of Israel. So make sure when you make a statement, you make sure. Number one answer there. So you can be had out here, California. That is Yahweh talking to the seer. Tell the seer what to take to the children of the book. What to tell them. So to pick it up with remind that bit. Be back. So you understand? So we got to make sure we got this thing right. Because when you get tested, you got to take a deep breath and remember the scriptures. That is Yahweh talking to the seer about the children of Israel.
Ezekiel chapter 37, picking it back up at verse 13. 13 reading. And you should know that I am the Yahweh, when I have opened your graves,
Yes.
O my people,
Yes.
and brought you up out of your grave.
Yes.
Verse 14. And shall put my spirit in you.
He said, what I'm going to do, Ezekiel, tell them, I'm going to put my spirit in them.
And you shall live.
They're going to live.
And I shall place you in your own land.
So that what you're telling me, Ezekiel. Go ahead.
Then shall you know that I, the Yahweh, have spoken it.
Then you will know that Yahweh has spoken it.
And performed it.
Yes.
Said the Yahweh.
Listen good. Verse 15.
The word of the Yahweh came again unto me, saying.
What he said, and that word came to who again?
Ezekiel the seer.
Again. So now he let Ezekiel rest up. As soon as he had his eyes open again, the word came right back to him again. And y'all reading about Titus?
What?
Well, 16.
Verse 16. Moreover, you son of man.
Well, watch this now.
Take you one stick.
Take you one stick.
And write upon it, for Yada Judah, and for the children of Israel, his company, the southern kingdom, Benjamin, and Levi and Simeon. Then take another stick.
No, hold on. Read 16, let me give you the breakdown. Read again, 16.
Verse 16. Moreover, you son of man, take you one stick.
Take one stick, son of man.
And write upon it.
And write on it.
For Judah.
For Judah.
And for the children of Israel.
And for the children of Israel and his companion.
His companion.
And for his children of Israel and his companion.
His companion.
Judah got a companion. The children of Israel got a companion. Judah's companion is Levi, Benjamin, and Simeon. The children of Israel got a companion. It's the rest of the tribes. Okay? Now watch him break it down. Keep reading.
Then take another stick.
Then take another stick.
And write upon it.
And write upon it.
For Joseph.
For Joseph.
The stick of Ephraim.
The stick of Ephraim.
And for all the family of Israel, his companion.
His companion. So Judah got a companion, which is all 4 tribes. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and Simeon. That's who his companion is. Now, Joseph got a companion, and that's the mother tribes. Because Levi was in both of them, so they was in both of them. So, moreover, does son of man take one stick? Take that one stick and write up on it for Judah. And for the children of Israel, his companion, because Judah is Israel too. Judah is Israel. And his companion. Who is his companion? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon. That's who you take care of, Judah. Then he said again, and take another stick, right?
Mhm.
And take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the family of his companion. Y'all see that? So it's two sets of companions. Judah leads the 4, and the other 10 are mixed between Joseph, which is Ephraim, they lead. So he got a stick in his hand, he popped it. How? He took one stick and no stick. And he had 2 sticks in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Who had in his hand? The seer. He had 2 sticks in his hand. One represents Judah, Israel, Levi, and Simeon in one hand. He had a no stick in his hand. It represents what? Joseph, which is Ephraim, in his hand. So now he got both sticks in his hand, representing the 12 tribes of Israel, but with 2 sticks in his hand. Now let's see what them 2 sticks.
Verse 17. And join them.
And join them.
One to another.
One, and take them 2 sticks and join them one to another. And that will read,
Hallelujah.
he got 2 sticks in his hand. Now you're going to join them together. Now, you know, if you put a 3-4 rope together or 2 sticks together, you're hard to break. It's easy to break Moses one, but we put both sticks together. It's harder to break, you know, right? I got to right on here, but I know. Let me out there, Titus. Let me out there. Let me just go to Jeremiah chapter 5. Let me see what these 2 sticks see. See, you got to be able to hear these lessons and then go over these righteous acts with the better halves and be prepared to deliver. Let's find what these 2 sticks here. We're going to find out what these 2 sticks here by using the precept. We go to the 50th chapter and we look at verse 4. Jeremiah 50, verse 4.
Look at Jeremiah the seer, chapter 50, verse 4. In those days, and in that time, said Yahweh, the children of Israel, Lord the kingdom, shall come, and there the children of Yada Judah, southern kingdom, together, going and weeping. They should go and seek Yahweh, their Yahweh.
33 and 34. Listen good.
Verse 33, verse 34. Thus said Yahweh of hosts, the children of Israel, northern kingdom, 10 northern tribes, and the children of Yada Judah, southern kingdom, were oppressed together, and all that took them captives hold them fast.
Everybody hears it.
They refused to let them go.
Right?
Verse 34. Their Redeemer is strong. Yahweh of hosts is his name. He should truly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon.
They want to disquiet the inhabitants of the United States, Russia, and China, and the public Arabs. He will take care of all that business. Right? Come on back to 37th chapter where we at. And y'all line will pick it back up where he had it. So now we know what the 2 sticks is, right? You take 2 sticks together, southern and northern, right? And we found another name that's children of Israel and children of Judah, right?
Wow.
Go ahead and read.
Come back to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, finish up verse 17. Verse 17.
This is real good now.
And join them one to another.
And join them one to another.
Into one stick.
Into one stick.
And they shall become one in your hand.
And they're going to become one in, who's going to become one in thy hand?
Ezekiel said,
Northern kingdom, the 10 northern tribes and the southern tribe, Yada Judah, and the northern tribes, the 10 northern tribes of Israel will become one hand in the seal.
Now we come back to 1:11 again, the Hosea. Now let's see what makes sense again. Now let's go, we're doing all this to get back to Hosea 1:11. Let's see, do it make sense now? We went all around the block to get back to Hosea 1:11. Well, your mind said what he disagreed. What is that?
Book of Hosea, chapter 11. Chapter 1. The book of Hosea, chapter 1, verse number 11. Verse 11 reads, Then shall the children of Yada Judah
Yes.
and the children of Israel
Yes.
be gathered together
Together.
and appoint themselves one head.
And they will prompt themselves one head. Now, who the one head gonna be there?
Ezekiel the seer.
A seer. A seer. Ezekiel is no longer here. So it won't be Ezekiel. He in the ground.
One head, the
It's gonna
seer.
be one head. It was seer. It was seer. Head. A seer. Is that what we're reading now, Brother Titus? One head is one seer. Is that what we're reading?
The seer. Hallelujah. Yahweh.
Hallelujah. Now come on back, young man.
We're going back over Hallelujah. We're going back over to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37. We're going to pick it up at verse number 18.
Ready.
18 read. And when the children of your people shall speak unto you,
Yeah.
saying, Will you not show us what you mean by thee?
Yeah. What that mean?
Verse 19. Saying unto them,
And now, Ezekiel said to them,
Thus says the Yahweh.
yes,
Yahweh,
yes,
behold, I will take the stick of Joseph,
yes,
which is in the hand of Ephraim,
yes,
and the tribes of Israel his fellow,
yes,
and will put them with him,
yes,
with the stick of Judah,
yes,
and make them one stick,
yeah.
and they shall be one in my hand.
That's how you're going to get in this thing through Ezekiel the seer. They become one in my hand. That's what stay them up. They recognize Ezekiel, then they'll be one in my hand. You don't get one in his hand no other way, not coming no other way. Go on.
Verse 20. And the sticks thereon you write shall be in your hand before their eyes.
And the stick that you write in being in your hand, you before the eyes, exactly how the thing gonna be. Go ahead.
Verse 21.
Go ahead.
And say unto them,
Go ahead.
Thus says the Yahweh,
And you said the name Ezekiel said,
Yahweh, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the 17 nations,
yes.
whether they be gone,
Go ahead.
and will gather them on every side,
Go ahead.
and bring them into their own land.
By the seer of the hour at that time.
Verse 22.
Right.
And I will make them one nation,
And I will make them one nation.
in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and the one king shall be king to them all.
And one king will be king. Now they in the hands of Yahweh through the seer, getting them prepared for some Yahweh. And that was the prophecy in the 39th chapter, same thing. Jubilees in book of Ezekiel, Zechariah 12, verse 7, same thing. Judah got to hold down, but the seer got to put broken together for Judah to hold down.
And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms anymore at all.
As long as a seer leads both sides, northern kingdom, great brothers, and southern. And on that note, the brother Titus and continue.
Yahweh. 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 Right, Sister Judith. Give me it's the book of it's the book of Luke chapter 12, verse 12.
Luke chapter 12, verse 12. Verse 12 is, For the righteous spirit shall teach you in the same hour what you ought to say.
That's right. The righteous spirit will teach you the same hour what you ought to say. All right. Okay. The righteous spirit will teach you in the same hour what you ought to say. All right, Sister Judith, give me Give me Mark chapter 13, verse 11. Mark chapter 13, verse 11. Mark chapter 13, verse 11.
Mark chapter 13, verse 11 reads,
Huh?
but when they shall leave,
Hallelujah.
take no thought beforehand what ye shall speak. Neither do ye premeditate, but whatsoever shall be given you in that hour, that speak you. For if it is not ye that speak, but the righteous spirit.
Watch your spirit.
That's right.
All right. Give me real quick.
Big loud. Big loud. Right. You
Well,
got
yeah,
to
right.
bro. That's how you got to bring it. Bring it. That's right. Bring it better than the steel, bro. You got to get out your thing and follow the steel's lead. You can tighten it up. Add to it. Bring some. Hallelujah.
Go to Nehemiah. Go to the book of Nehemiah.
Mm-hmm.
Book of Nehemiah.
You put some more juice to that Nehemiah. Put some more juice to it.
Book of Nehemiah.
That's right.
Book of Nehemiah chapter 9. Nehemiah chapter 9.
Nehemiah chapter 9.
Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 20. Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 20.
What is it? What is it?
All right, so
Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 20. Verse 20 reads, thou gavest also thy good spirit to instruct them, and withheldest not thy manna from their mouth, and gavest them water for their thirst.
Yahweh. And good beard. He gave him a good spirit to instruct him.
That's right.
Said he gave him water for their thirst. So, well, what is that water? Is he talking about just water that you drink? Let's make it real plain about this water real quick.
Bring it out, your mind. Bring it out. Go up there in the feast. Remember tomorrow night, back on the same time, 7:30 tomorrow night. Every night this week, 7:30, all the way to the 8th day is over. Come on, young man.
All right, give me that Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. Give me Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. Sister Judy. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. Book of Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. Verse 26 reads, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
Talking about his word. All right, go to second witness on that. Let's go to John real quick. The book of John. Let's see what I want in John. Make that 15. See if I'm on point. Make that John chapter, keep saying it, John chapter 15, verse 3.
Bring it up.
John chapter 15, verse 3.
John chapter 15, verse 3. Verse 3 reads, now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
That word will cleanse. You are clean through the word which is spoken unto you. Right. Real quick, let's see what David says on that. Let's see what David says on that. Let's go to Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 118. See what I want. Let's go to Psalms 118. Let's go to Psalms 118. Give me verse 8 and verse 9. Give me Psalms 118, verse 8 and verse 9. See if I'm on point. Give me Psalms 118, verse 8 and verse 9, Sister Judith.
Psalms chapter 118, verses 8 and 9.
Yeah.
Verse 8.
That's right.
It is better to trust in the Lord.
Make that. Give me Psalms 119, verse 8. Psalms 119, verse 8.
19, 8. I will keep my statutes.
Get down to verse 9. Verse 9. Let's get to the point. Psalm 119, verse 9.
Psalms 119, verse 9 reads, well, wherewith shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word.
Word. Taking heed to according to your word. All right. Let's precept again real quick. Give me Isaiah 116. Isaiah 116. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 16.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 16. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 16. Wash you, make you clean, put away the evil of your doings from before my eyes, cease to do evil.
Cease to do evil. You got to put away the evil. All right. All right. What we got to touch on, because real quick, we went over this on the third day, because right now we're on the fourth day of the Feast of Tabernacles. And we got to rehearse the righteous acts. All right. Let's go to, we're going to the book of the law real quick. As a matter of fact, before we get there real quick, give me a Daniel real quick, Sister Judith. We're going to Daniel. Me Daniel chapter 1. Let's go to the book of Daniel chapter 1. Okay, Daniel chapter 1. All right. Okay, give me Daniel chapter 1. All right. Daniel chapter 1. Look it up at verse 3. Verse 3 and verse 4 down to verse 6. Verse 3 to verse 6.
Daniel chapter 1, verses 3, 4 to 6. Verse 3 reads, and the king spake unto Espionage, the master of his
units,
that he should bring certain of the children of Israel and of the king's seed and of the princes. Verse 4 reads,
and it says and of the king's seed and of the princes. Hold that real quick. Give me, he said, of the king's seed. All right, real quick, Sister Judith. Give me Jeremiah. See what I want. Let's see what I want. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Let's see what I want. Chapter, let me get there, the book of Jeremiah. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. We're going to the book of Jeremiah. He said the king's seed, right? The king's seed. We're going to Jeremiah. Let's see what I want. Make that chapter 44. We're going to Jeremiah chapter 44. Jeremiah chapter 44. Let's see what's going on here. We're going to Jeremiah chapter 44. Let's see. So all the seed royal. Said the king's seed. All right, real quick, Sister Jude, give me Daniel chapter 2, verse 16. I ain't got nothing out like in my new book. Give me Daniel chapter 2, verse 16.
Daniel chapter 2, verse 16 reads, then Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would give him time and that he would.
That's all I need is to give me time. Is to give me time real quick. Because we want to know what this king's seed is. Real quick. What this king's seed, what that's talking about. No, I'm saying in the book of Jeremiah. Book of Jeremiah. The king's seed. Matter of fact, give me Jeremiah chapter 41, verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 41. Jeremiah chapter 41, verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 41, verse 1. See what is Kings.
Jeremiah chapter 41, verse 1. Verse 1 reads, Now it came to pass in the 7th month that Ishmael, the son of Nethalia, the son
Where you at? You at Jeremiah 41, verse 1? Elishama.
Elishama of the seed royal, and the princes of the king, even 10 men with him came unto
Where you at?
Gilead, the son of
Okay. Hakaman
to
Hikim,
Hakam to Zappa, and there they did eat bread together in.
All right, we're not through with that yet. Let's go to Kings real quick. Let's go to Kings. Let's put a name of who the seed royal is. You're not going to see it there, but you got a precept for what to see it there. You got a precept to get there. Real quick. Let's go to Kings and see what I'm on the Kings. We're going to Kings and see what I want. Chapter 20. Chapter seed royal. Let's go to 1 Kings. See what I want. Going to 1 Kings chapter 20 and get warmed up. All right. And get warmed up real quick. All right. They say of the seed royal. All right. 1 Kings. Make that 2 Kings. Let's go to 2 Kings. See if I can get it out of that. I'll make sure I highlight it. Make that 2 Kings chapter 20. Go to 2 Kings chapter 20. Get warmed up. All right. 2 Kings chapter 20. All right, make that 2 Kings chapter 25. Chapter 25. All right, pick up at verse 25. 2 Kings chapter 25, verse 25.
2 Kings chapter 25, verse 25. Verse 25 reads, But it came to pass in the 7th month that Ishmael, the son of Nethalia, the son of
Nethaniah,
the son of
Lishama,
seed royal came, and 10 men with him and smart Gilead, that he died, and Yada Judah and the
Chaldeans
that were with him at
Mizpah. When we get warm up here, so the Yada Judah is the what? Seed royal. That was 2 Kings 25, 25. Make sure you make a note of that. 2 Kings 25, 25. That's why we say seed royal. All right. Give me a name in verse 21 real quick. Give me verse 21. 2 Kings 25, verse 21. Let's get a name real quick.
2 Kings chapter 25, verse 21. Verse 21 reads, And the king of Babylon smote them and slew them at
Riblah,
in the land.
Hamath.
So Judah was carried away out of their land.
Judah was carried away out of their land. So this Yada Judah is the what? What we reading here? Is the what? Yada Judah is the what? Verse 25. Verse 25. The middle of verse 25. So Yada Judah is the what? You know the king see reading Daniel chapter 1. 2 Kings chapter 25, verse 25. The middle where it says, when you see Elishama of the what? Verse 25, 2 Kings.
Seed royal.
So Yada Judah is the what? Seed royal. Of the seed royal. So that's what the certain of the children of Israel, the king's seed royal. Yada Judah. Okay. Now, All right, read on. Back to Daniel chapter 1 where you was at. You was at Daniel chapter 1. You coming back. All right, read
Chapter verse 6.
All right, you at verse 4. You at verse 4.
Daniel chapter 1, verse 4. Children in whom was no blemish.
Said, talking about these children. The children of Israel, talking about Yada Judah. The children who no blemish, go ahead.
But well favored and skillful in all wisdom and cunning in knowledge.
Hold that point. That was real skillful in what? Cunning and knowledge. All right, let's go to Exodus real quick. Let's get warmed up here. Let's go to the book of Exodus. He said it was skillful in knowledge. What did they know? They had to be reading this. Let's go to real quick. We're going to Exodus. We're in the book of Exodus, chapter 35. Let's go to Exodus chapter 35. Sister Judah Israel. Let's go to Exodus chapter 35. Go to Exodus chapter 35. All right. Pick up at verse 1 and skip down verse 10. Go down to verse 10. All right. We're going to read down, Sister Judah. Pick up at verse 10. Exodus chapter 35, verse 1. And then we're going to skip down verse 10 and going to read down real quick. When you get to 22, you skip 23. Read 24. All right. Let's get a name real quick. We're going to put a name on who's skillful in knowledge and cunning. Go to Exodus chapter 35.
Exodus
Look at verse 1.
35, verse 1. Verse 1. And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together and said unto them, these are the words which the Yahweh have commanded that ye should do them.
You should do them.
Verse
All
10
right.
reads.
Verse 10, we'll read down.
Verse 10 reads that every wise-minded among you shall come and make all that the Yahweh have commanded. Verse 11, the tabernacle, his tent, and his covering, his taches, and his boards, his bars, his pillars, and his socket. Verse 12 reads, the ark and the staffs thereof with the mercy seat and the wall and the veil of the cover. Verse 13 reads, the table and the staffs and all his vessels.
Okay, let's get right to the point of who these names of these people is filled with skillful and knowledge. Skip down verse 30. Read verse 30 to 35 real quick. Let's get a name real quick. Exodus chapter 35, verse 30 to 35.
Verse 30 reads, and Moses said unto the children of Israel, see, the Yahweh have called by
A few more minutes.
the Yahweh has called by name. What is that?
Bezalel,
the son of Uri, the son of Hur, and the tribe of Yada Judah.
And the tribe of Yada Judah, go ahead, verse 31.
And he hath filled him with the spirit of Yahweh, in wisdom, in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship.
All right, verse 32.
Verse 32 reads, and to devise curious works.
Curious works, go ahead.
To work in gold and silver and in brass.
That's why we got that black book is for. What's their occupation? What they good at then? But it's all to take care of the temple business. What's need to be done in the temple. Whatever you skillful in, that's what required. In the temple. In the temple of Yahweh. Not the world. You got to use the skill, the cunning works. Go ahead.
33.
To build the temple. Go ahead.
The cutting of stones.
The cutting of stones.
To set them, and in carving of wood to make any matter of cunning work.
Of cunning work.
Which 34 reads.
Artistic. Go ahead.
He put in his mind that he may teach both he and
Aholiab, Hishama,
Hishma,
of the tribe of Dan. So once we know Judah got this the skill, they was wise minded, and they got the skill of cutting stones, wood, cutting work. And Judah was to pass it on to what? In verse 34. To teach what? Who Judah supposed to teach this?
both he
Pass it
and
down to. Go ahead.
both he and
Verse 34.
he may teach both he and
Aholiab,
Holiad, the son of
Hishama,
Hishma, tribe of Dan.
of the tribe of Dan. So Judah, once Judah got it, he passed it on to Dan and teach Dan.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Them hath he filled with wisdom of mind to work all manner of work, of the engraver and of the cunning work and of the
Okay, all that. Let's get down to that because I know some stumbling words over there because he didn't give us no all that purple, all that nonsense. So all that scarlet. So that's enough for that. We just get a little bit of verse 35. Let's go to real quick. Let's get a second witness on. Let's go to Exodus 31. We're going to Exodus 31. Real quick. Go to Exodus chapter 31. Exodus chapter 31.
Okay.
All right. Pick up that verse 1. Exodus 31, verse 1.
Exodus chapter 31.